social networks that they shouldn't be doing.
Politicians also. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah.
But kids are doing it too, you
Right.
know, and it's one of those things where, as parents, we have to say, don't smoke cigarettes, don't do this, don't do that, and don't post those things on Facebook, because here's what's happening when you do that. And it's just that lesson, I think, that you've got to teach them. And if a parent doesn't do it, I mean, somebody's got to. And if the parent doesn't, in a lot of cases, the kid might just go ahead and continue to do very public and in some cases, inappropriate posting.
Right. Well, Mary Beth, I'm a celibate priest. I have no kids of my own. And yet we do here at T-Mostly people with teenage
We're all
children.
your children, Father.
Well, thank you.
No, I have two children of my own. One is 16 and one is 20. Well, my son will be 16 and next week. So this is a topic that is certainly a part of my life.
Absolutely.
on a regular basis. And I'm definitely of the less is more with technology. I mean, I'm a huge fan of technology, of Facebook, or all of those things. But when it comes to put down the Game Boy or the texting while we're eating dinner or whatever it is. And I think what you're saying about, you know, kids learning or needing the place to learn what's okay to post and what's not okay to post. I always say to my children, if you don't want grandma to see it, don't post it.
Oh, grandma's a good one, yeah.
Well, and I've also been recently sending my son articles of people who are either not getting hired for jobs or getting fired for things because of the things that they have posted on Facebook.
Right. Well, I didn't say that before, but that is a big thing. I hear in interviews that the interviewer might say, hey, on this laptop, can you pull up your Facebook page? We'd like to see a little bit about, you know, what your pastimes are. And, you know, and kids have not gotten hired. Teens and young adults have not gotten hired because of what's on their Facebook, you know, party last weekend or whatever it is.
Right.
And that's all fun until an employer's looking at that, and now they can see it. Our private life used to be private, no more.
Right, and colleges are looking at it. And as somebody who does some hiring myself, I admit I have looked up many people on Facebook to see what they're putting out, you know? But the other thing I wanted to bring up with you is something that I've been learning about recently with my children and Facebook, and a new term that's been coined, FOMO, the feeling of missing out. I don't know if you've heard this term. I actually just recently heard it on the news, but it made a lot of sense to some things that I kind of sense going on around my kids on Facebook. You know, my son being a sophomore in high school, it's a little bit more prevalent. You know, my daughter's a junior in college, so like you said, you know, she's of the first generation of kids graduating with this sort of means. But it's kids posting, you know, here's what we did last weekend, and, you know, with maybe 4 of their friends, and, you know, there's a 5th girl who's often with that group, but is now seeing pictures of her friends from last weekend and is realizing she wasn't invited. Or there was a dance last night, and here are all the kids that went, but you weren't invited, so-and-so wasn't there. Or a birthday party, suddenly there are pictures the next day on Facebook, and suddenly my kid is wondering why he wasn't invited. Hey, I know all those people. And now
Get with the programs, Deborah K. Levi, with satellite radio
on Facebook. And 2 days later, now suddenly there's like an all-out war on my kid's Facebook page over he said, she said, who didn't invite who.
Right.
And that concerns me, honestly, more than almost anything else with it. You know, with a lot of it, I'm more concerned about stuff like that becoming an issue than my son not getting into college because of something that he wrote.
Well, absolutely. But, you know, that happens, this FOMO happens to adults, too, because it's happened to me. You know, I travel a lot, and there's, you know, all the parents in the neighborhood that I live in, you know, they'll often, the moms will get together and they'll post it. They did all this fun stuff, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, and here I am in Cincinnati or whatever it is, and I feel left out. And sometimes I'm home and they're doing stuff because they don't know I'm home. And it really, I don't retaliate on Facebook, but the retaliation is where that maturity comes in, and
right.
kids don't, you know, they just react.
Well, Maribeth Kuzmeski is our guest this evening on the Bust the Halo Show. The book is The Engaging Child, Raising Children to Speak, Write, and Have Relationship Skills Beyond Technology. You have definitely engaged us, Maribeth, and I think people are going to be looking as to where they can get this. We'll put a link up on our Facebook page, ironically, facebook.com/BustedHalo Show. So you can go there and check that out. And if you've got kids, or even, as I think we're talking about, even if you're working with people of the millennial generation or whatnot, very helpful indeed. Maribeth, thanks so much for joining us here on the Busted Halo Show.
Thank you very much.
I understand you and I both went to the Cuse.
Yes, absolutely. I went to Marquette for 1 year and Syracuse for 3 years.
We didn't have these great... in fact, I had a writing teacher at Newhouse, the communication school, that... I know you know, but other people. So I had a writing teacher who taught me, or insisted that I learn how to use a word processor, like a computer word processor. Ooh, newfangled. Because I was handing her papers I wrote on a typewriter, for crying out loud.
Don't put paper clips anywhere near the hard drive.
Careful.
We'll cancel it out.
Careful.
Well, we probably went there around the same time. I remember...
I graduated in 86.